Alright, now let's see what the hell is going on and hope that we get there before she gets cut in half. And realize that this makes Oda incredibly suspicious, even if it turns out he didn't do it.
Our destination is far from here. 20 minutes at the fastest.
20 minutes?
Please, please let me make it in time. That sick bastard!
That's gonna have to be one slow-moving saw blade. Wait, it's a guy in a bear or wolf suit? We're not gonna make that, are we?
Tessa! Hold on! I'll save you!
Ota!
Did they fake the whole thing?
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
Those sons of bitches faked the whole thing. So Oda dressed up in the outfit, started the saw, went off screen, changed out of the outfit, yelled at the guy, ran up, stopped it, pretended to fight someone off screen, then ran off.
No, it can't be. No. Stop!
Ooh, this is...
No!
That ain't good.
No!
Watch the road. Yeah. Yeah, this makes Oda really fucking suspicious. How the fuck am I supposed to expect... Like, how would anyone not think, okay, Oda is responsible? I mean, I get it probably wasn't. What? I figured the bear costume was Oda, but... So am I supposed to believe he just committed suicide via saw blade after? Cause that's fucked. Real fucked. Wait, why are you getting interrogated?
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you.
Other than the question of what the fuck you were thinking taking her to the bar instead of straight home.
It's rare to see you down like this, but it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you?
I mean, to be fair, he shouldn't have turned around. He shouldn't have gone to the bar in the first place.
Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble.
It's also Oda's fault for them both being dead because he zapped you with a taser in the first place.
And about letting Ota get the upper hand on you.
Yeah?
Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks? Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide. Ota had a selfish love for Iris.
I mean, that is true.
He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife. Killed her, then killed himself.
But what about the eye thing?
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other two murders? Iris's left eye was hollowed out.
Also, what I'm curious about is if it was a murder. I mean, I guess, like, if it was a murder-suicide, why would he do the whole, like... Oh, actually, no, I can see if it was a murder-suicide, why he'd pretend to do the other thing of fighting someone off. So it would seem like he was killed trying to defend her. Okay, so yeah, I do see why that would happen.
Just like Renju and Shoko. Those three murders were definitely executed by the same person.
But then why not hollow out, but then why not take out Oda's eye is probably what they're going to bring up.
The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as?
Such as this table being white. This mirror being dirty. This camera being B instead of A. This computer being of shitty quality. And this door being locked from the outside.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit.
Which is exactly why he
Ota
would
and the
do it.
polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That
But they-
behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was gonna commit suicide anyway.
But they weren't both on screen at the same time.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice cutting machine himself? I don't buy it. The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
Well... maybe. I mean, I did already touch on it. Like I said, if it looks like Oda's fighting with someone, then it'll seem like he was murdered trying to defend her. And then it'll look different than it is, and people won't think like... you know, people won't think he killed her. Probably something like that.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it, making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
I mean, I guess.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
Shoko was married to Renju.
But Oda didn't know that.
Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
That's a stretch. They've been divorced for years. Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay. Oh,
There
wait,
are
no,
some
that was
additional discrepancies.
Iris who didn't know.
I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Also, he was stabbed and then dismembered after he died.
Are you sure?
I am.
Oh, I know that.
Well, then why didn't you say it?
Well,
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice cutting machine.
I kind of feel like you're doing the Michael Jordan reach here, boss. I mean, it's true it could be possible, but I feel like we're way too early in the game to find out the actual, like, identity of the killer. I feel like if it's Ota, then that would make a lot of things to the rest of the game. We'll lose a lot of, you know, like, lose a lot of suspense, maybe?
then shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
What?
Boss, come on. Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Yeah, come on, boss.
Well, I wasn't being serious. I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning.
Then why didn't you just say so?
I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
Ah,
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene. That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice cutting machine. And then...
so
Then-
how...
Who is the culprit?
So my question is, when did they get kidnapped then?
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims. But Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Is that why his eye wasn't taken out?
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris. What connects these 3?
I mean, the agency does. Oh. Oh, you're going to say that what connects all 4 of them is Mizuki. And it's gonna look really bad and be like, it could be her. Oh boy, I don't like where this is going.
Connections.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
Boss?
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe,
I know.
maybe not. But it's a good starting point.
Boss, I know where you're going with this, and I get that you gotta do it. But I do not like the idea of that. Not one bit. Hitomi? Mayumi? Can I say Moma?
Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris. Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked. They were high school classmates.
Right.
And she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way.
That is true. She probably
No
wouldn't.
matter what the circumstances were, it seems impossible to me.
Yeah, I doubt she would.
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemnis Gate either.
But I doubt she'd kill her own son like that.
Since Renju is the president. Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her.
The weak point is also killing her own son.
And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
Yeah.
Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras. But again, I can't see any clear link to Iris.
Oh.
I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No. Now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is zero possibility you are the new Cyclops killer. I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Thank you, Aiba. That is much appreciated.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renju were her parents, and she was close friends with Iris.
But I don't think she would ever hurt any of them. Like, why would she leave herself entirely alone? Though if people with connections to her are getting killed, then that would put Date in, like, a direct line of sight and at risk for being next.
She was good friends with Ota too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them. Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
But what if the victims, though, are people related to her? That would mean, like I said, that
Thought
Date
it
is
over,
next.
boss. Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit, to get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
Oh, boy. Guess I should go, Is there an order I'm supposed to go in? Oh boy. Man, how do you, like... I don't know how people even do that, you know? Like... Go to a parent and just be like, hey, yeah, your kid was murdered in a really gruesome way.
In the language of flowers, the iris means good news and hope. When I saw the flowers this morning, I just knew something good would happen.
Iris.
Wait, maybe they knew that she'd seen the original ones.
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but
No, please. Tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before.
Right.
The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
Prison?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were younger.
Are they the 89th prisoner? Is that what we're going for?
I visit them a few times a year. And by coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was, to visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison, in Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Prison?
I know what you're thinking.
Oda was one of my students. I taught him in elementary school. I heard it from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
I really don't want to ask about Iris, but I kind of have to.
Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together. Whether it was buying clothes, or going to the movies, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine. Then it was 2, then 3, and finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up. Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her. But... why?
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her. Dante, please, you have to catch them. Please. Please.
I will. Trust me.
Well, this is gonna be rough. Oh boy. I realize this probably isn't the time to be checking this stuff. Actually, wait a second. wonder if this will. So now I can. Sorry, I was gonna double check something, but I can hold off on it since I don't want to mess up my recording. Good luck, huh?
This is your fault.
What? His
I
fault?
heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris, my boy Ota got involved.
Excuse me?
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me? I said leave!
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, going back to Marble. Maybe I need a drink.
Are you okay, honey?
Huh?
About last night. Well, at 3 in the morning anyway.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
Intuition.
Tell me.
Curious what the information's on. Or intuition, rather. Sure, let's hear it.
The Kumakuras are involved in this case. Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakuras?
Right.
Shoko also has a relationship with them. You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
So
Yes.
basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakuras. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2, 3.
3. Iris?
No, not that one. The boy. He came here last night?
Ota?
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
How?
Have you heard the rumor?
No, obviously not. That's why I'm asking. Right. Right, of course. I don't see anything wrong with all the cash, but
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies.
yes.
They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you.
Okay.
The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in Kawasaki. Now, back to So. Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kawasaki?
I thought gambling was supposed to be illegal in Japan. Or something like that. So I mean, I could be wrong because I'm not up to date on my Japanese history, but I did think there actually weren't casinos there.
So was the one who came up with it.
I was born and raised in Kawasaki. I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kawasaki now. When I see images of the destruction on television, my heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces. But I promise you, I will revive the Kawasaki district at any cost.
Yeah, any cost, huh?
Casino Town Kawasaki will give new life to the city.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places.
Right.
The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
Okay.
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kawasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off limits. However, the air in Kawasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human body.
Right.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kawasaki are going to skyrocket. And all that land is owned by the KE.
Right.
And by So himself. The land he bought back for $1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
He's involved in some shady business.
This is just another rumor, but the chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
Well, yes, I would have assumed that.
By So and the Kumakuras, you mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip.
Yeah, what about Oda?
What were we talking about again?
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kawasaki district?
Yeah. I actually hadn't really noticed that, but
the chemical plant explosion made times hard. Foot traffic went down, sales declined. No wonder it closed down. Ota must hold a grudge. Someone caused that explosion. And if it was intentional, oh, he'd hate them even more. That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
Thank you, Mama. I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time.
No, it was very helpful.
I'm glad I can help, even if it's just a little.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
I guess back to the cold storage warehouse. The Dade residence seems like a last place to go thing. Yeah. Maybe.
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
What?
No, nothing so far.
That was worth asking.
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
So you did find something.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream.
Why would they just leave it?
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them.
But still, why would you leave them?
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
Right.
And the cause of death.
Right. About that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Well, that's true.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown.
Yeah, that is something to wonder about.
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse.
Okay.
Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it. I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras, the same Okiuras we know.
Right.
Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju.
Really?
The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died.
Huh.
Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
Well then.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious. Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed.
Well, I think the cause of death is pretty obvious since Ninja was breathing until that happened.
The video was not a recording. It was a live stream, filmed in real time.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered. Date, we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
Well, just don't ask the guys in Miami either. All they're good for are bad puns and good sunglasses.
All right.
However, that actually lines up with things. Incredibly well, as it's a good time for me to wrap things up for the night. So, till next time.